Hello everybody, back with a vlog, daily one this time, mixing it up. Today's vlog is going to be focused on working with brands and my strategy this year for trying to work with the biggest brands in the world. I don't think a lot of creators talk about this, so I think you'll find it valuable. I'm actually joining a new talent agency this week and I'm being onboarded today. I'm going into their office, so I'm going to vlog that. Again, we're going to talk about strategy there. I'm also getting my hair cut, show you the little bougie place that I get my hair cut. Also, there's a really nice falafel place just outside it. I've got a TikTok and a LinkedIn video to make as well. No rest for the wicked when you have days out. And I'm hoping just to give you an insight into my thoughts and ideas around working with brands, which I think a lot of people will find valuable. Should I chuck in one of those little fancy intros at the start again? Yeah, why not? So I hope you enjoy the video. Hope you get a lot of value from it. And I will see you at my desk. Right, so today's video is all about brands, and the last year I've worked with quite a number of brands, Adobe, Canva, Shutterstock, Shaw, Instagram, a mixture of like hardware, tech products and software brands. And my goal this year with brands is to go for the bigger ones. Sony, Samsung, Google, Meta. I want to establish relationships with the larger tech brands just to, help increase my brand awareness, just strengthen my brand, earn more money, and just be involved with the biggest brands in the world. Of course, I want that. But the problem I've discovered is that just like any industry, it's not always about who you are and your skills, it's about who you know. And what ends up happening is you get to a point where you reach this level of influence that is, I would say, it deems you good enough to work with most brands in your niche. And so this will be bound on your follower count, your engagement, community, influence, quality of content. And so once you reach this point, you are good enough for pretty much most brands in your niche, as in they will say yes to you. The problem is just getting in front of the decision maker. And there are lots of people in this category, lots for every niche. It's very competitive, brand deals. And as I said, I have found it's not about who you are when you get to this point, it's then about who you know. And I found that in my last year with talent agency, even though they've been fantastic and great, I found that the relationships haven't existed because they're a new talent agency with the bigger brands. And so I was firstly going to go on my own and basically just start being self-managed and just hunt down these relationships. But then I connected with someone at an agency called 16th, and I had conversations and have signed a contract there, and I'm being onboarded there today. And this is a much more established agency. They manage creators like Ali Abdaal, Simon Squibb, a number of other big YouTube sort of creators. And I know through those creators, they have the relationships that I want with those bigger brands. They already have 3 or 4 creators that work with Google. Ali is a big Google partner, and they have 3 or 4 other lifestyle vlogging creators that also work with Google. So I know that when my agency starts having the conversations with these brands that are already working with a number of other creators, I know that just adding me on and being like, oh, by the way, we've got this new creator, here is his profile, they see that I'm in that category of okay, good enough. I think it's then a lot easier to then secure those deals. So that's kind of why I've decided to join a different agency to help me, start working with the biggest brands in the world. And what I'm hoping that will then lead to is me just establishing some really strong longer term relationships with some key brands at the top, meaning that then I can become even more selective and picky with the medium and smaller brands that I work with that don't have the sort of brand presence to give me tangible value there. They don't actually. Let me just go back. Right, when I look at brand deals and partnerships, I look at a number of different things. I look at who they are, whether they're relevant to my audience, whether the product is good, how much they're paying, and whether they have a strong brand. Do people know them, which will then give me intangible value by seeing me work with that brand. And these are all things that I have to evaluate when it comes to working with a brand. Sometimes a brand comes in, I've never heard of them before, they pay a lot of money, but actually the tool's not very good. Not interested there. Sometimes the brand comes in, they are a very well-known brand, are not really paying a lot of money. The tool is okay, so it's like it's like this balance of like, sometimes it's just like weighing it all up. If a brand is not paying a lot of money, I don't know who they are, and the tool is crap, it's always a no. Always a no. I will put my hand up and say sometimes I've taken on deals and not done my due diligence. They're paying a lot of money. I've not done proper due diligence on the tool. I've then gone to make the video on the tool and realised, wow, this is really shit. I don't feel comfortable promoting this. I hate the fact that I've already said yes to it, and I've learnt my lesson to always do your due diligence on the tool, no matter how much they're paying, to see whether you feel comfortable promoting it. You know, I've made that mistake a few times. It's not a mistake that I'm going to make again. And so, as I said, I'm actually going to their office just to do some onboarding and that. I'm actually just making a couple of videos right now as well. I'm doing a LinkedIn video around influencer marketing and you know, influencer ads. And then I'm also just planned my TikTok video for later on, just so that I can just get on with that when I get back, which will probably be about 5 or 6 o'clock. A bit of a full long day for me, as I said, making videos this morning, going onboarding, filming this vlog, which, as I've alluded to in the last vlog, is a little bit annoying because it gets in the way of shit. But yeah, and then I'll wrap up later on today talking about some other things that I am doing later on this week related to brands, because I've got a meeting with a pretty established brand later on in the week, and I'm also going to an event tomorrow night for one reason and one reason only, and that is because somebody is talking there from 11 Labs, and I am going to hunt him down, and I am going to get my foot in the door there, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later. Also, I realised I didn't actually explain what exactly a influencer, like talent management agency, is or does. Essentially what they do is they're like an agent. They act on your behalf. They manage your inbox in terms of, you know, brands emailing you. They'll handle all of that communication, the negotiation, the contract review. They'll also do outbounding, find you events, handle PR stuff. Basically anything to do with brand partnerships they manage, and for that they will take a cut of the fee that you charge to that brand. This cut usually ranges between 10 to 25% depending on the contract that you have with that talent agency. And there are many of these. People ask me, would you recommend one? I definitely would. When you get to the point where you're just getting a lot of emails and you can't cope. I found that this was happening to me in my job when I was at Twitch. It was like in the summer period, July, August, I'm getting like 20, 30 emails a week, and I'm like, this is a whole job in itself. And if you get to that point, which I hope you do, that's when you should start looking for somebody to manage your inbox. You could do it self-managed. You could get a VA. You could look for a freelance influencer manager. There are lots of different options here, but I think the talent agency is the best option for most people to begin with. You can then test it for a year, and then once you've found your feet and you've got a bit more knowledge and clued up on the whole brand influencer marketing space, you can then better figure out what is the best option for you in terms of management. But it just is just so helpful in taking a hell of a load of shitty admin work off your plate. So I just finished my meeting with 16, just kind of like an onboarding meeting around just some of the processes, the communication, etc. Kind of similar to the agency I worked with before, so not much change there. I'm gonna have more of a brand strategy call next week just to outline like what my goals are there. But as I said at the start of the video, key partnerships are really the bigger brands, either Google or a Samsung ambassadorship, as well as Sony, and then some of the other big tech brands as well. So yeah, at the moment I'm just walking to the station. I need to go get my hair cut. I'm actually going to get some food as well, get the falafel, which is just by the place where I get my hair cut. But yeah, overall good meeting, excited to just start pushing forward and really developing my brand strategy. The other key thing here, and this is, I haven't mentioned this, is that this agency were bought by a company called Whaler, which are a big 360 influencer business in the US. They manage about 400 creators, but they also have a huge influencer marketing section, as in they not only manage talent, but they also run influencer campaigns for brands, and they have got a network. This is opening up a lot of doors for me. They have actually just built and launched a Soho house for creators in LA, and they're launching one in London in 2026, and I'm going to make it very clear that I want to be involved with that somehow in some way. And I've already started networking within the Whaler group because they're very well connected. They're doing something with LinkedIn. They're trying to become like LinkedIn's influencer partner, I think, which I'm trying to get involved with because I'm a creator's creator, because I'm involved with the influencer space and that's my niche. I want in anything that's interesting within the Whaler group. Big influencer business, and that is one of the most promising things around being involved with this agency, not just the brand deals, but the connections and doors that it's going to open up for me in terms of just building out me, my brand, what I do, what I'm about, meet more people in higher places with more influence within the influencer space, and just see where that takes me. I'm really excited about this because I just know that there's opportunity for me there that I'm gonna go and fucking get. So I'm running late to my hair appointment, so I definitely haven't got time to get the falafel. I'm gonna have to wait till I'm fucking starving as well. I'm also not sure how I feel about vlogging in public because there's a lot of people and people are looking at me. Do you know what? Those people will never see me again, so it doesn't really matter. But the reason why I am late is because I had to finish my LinkedIn post, as in the writing part, to post on LinkedIn. And the thing is that it's not just about video on LinkedIn, it's still a writing platform. And so if you're going to post there, you should make every effort to make sure that the writing is still good rather than just putting like one line, because that's what I see a lot of people doing when they first begin. That's what I did when I started. We'll just put like 1 or 2 lines and then basically just post. Now I'm making more of a conscious effort to write out like a proper post about what I've said in my video, as I described in my vlog the other week, and go from there. The other reason why I'm also late is because I was faffing around trying to take videos and nice shots of central London. And I also noticed that on the video that I in this vlog around me coming just out of 16th and talking about the meeting, I realized that my face is just like not in shot half the time, probably not even in this one, and that just further justifies to me the Osmo purchase, because I've been trying to think about how I'm going to use different cameras to do different things, and it's going to be like this, and I'll talk about this in another video. When I'm at home, always use the best camera available to me, which is what Casey Neistat said, so use my Sony a6700. When I'm outside, I feel like the best use case of the Osmo is like walking and talking head, so that you can make sure that you're in shot, and then also like it just tracks you. iPhone is just not very good for that, on the fact that I can't actually see the screen and I'm just looking at the lens and I have no idea what it's looking. So that's definitely the best use case of the Osmo in public. I feel like the iPhone is the best for like point and shoot B-roll, like just pulling out the camera out of my pocket and just shooting. But I do think it's probably, yeah, iPhone 16 for B-roll in public, Osmo for walking and talking in public, and then my Sony a67 at home when I'm doing everything, just because it's the best quality camera. And I am going to be late for this hair appointment. I'm nearly there, and I'll see you in a bit. haircut is complete. The only thing that I do in my life that is some level of bougie is that hairdressers / barbers. Supply 91, best barbers in London, on Regent Street, and they also are right next to the best falafel place on Regent Street, just by the DJI store actually, is this one here, £7.50 for a falafel. Honestly, so good. I actually never liked falafel too much before I ate here because it's always dry, kind of always tastes like shit. Honestly, this is the best place to get falafel. This is what it looks like from the outside. It's also right next to the DJI store, just here. Not sure what they're doing in here. This is actually quite a cool store. I don't know how many stores DJIs have got. I don't know whether they're going to like me filming in here either. There we go. Look at this shit. I don't know whether how am I even going to show you how I'm going to eat this? Who knows? Let's just try it together. Oh, I'm trying. Oh my god, this is just not. Look at that. I hope no one's looking at me. I am on Regent Street. Okay. Right. I'm done eating. Well, I'm done filming eating. It's all over my face. I'm gonna take some more shots of Regent Street for the B-roll, and then I will see you back at my desk. We are back, baby. Just got home. It is 6:30. Kind of tired. Bit of a long day, to be honest. I did just want to talk about a few other things that I mentioned earlier in the video. I've got a call coming up this week with SanDisk to talk about a video I'm making for them. And one of my brand strategies this year is trying to find brands in kind of sub-niches that are like top 3 brands that I don't care about working with kind of other brands. So SanDisk are a great storage solution. When I look at their competitors, I'm not too bothered about not working with any of those. And so what I'm trying to find is examples of brands like this that operate in a certain category that is not really related to my main content, but actually is something that I will need and use and my audience will use and need as well. And it's just trying to find those and build long-term relationships and partnerships with those brands so that they keep coming back to me. There are some areas where I wouldn't do this, for example, like maybe the music, royalty-free music categories where it's very competitive, and I've worked with a number of different brands in their niche. I don't really want to like stay with one of those. I want to keep kind of my options open there. And it's the same with a few other different categories as well. Like cameras, Sony, I am Sony through and through, hence why Sony is one of my main brands. And that's kind of what I'm doing there with different brands in different categories. And an example of that as well is 11 Labs, and that brings me on nicely to tomorrow. I'm going to an event tomorrow that's run by a community called Careers Edit. They focus on, people and their career. One of the people talking is from 11 Labs. It's the only reason I'm going, because when you can speak to someone in person from a brand, it is so much easier to get your foot in the door with that brand than any other form of communication. And 11 Labs don't do influencer marketing. And so I'm like, well, 11 Labs are a market leader in AI voices. I've made multiple videos for them just organically that have done millions of views. I'm trying to figure out what's the first step in a partnership or a relationship with them. Okay, I'm not requesting them spend money with me for an influencer ad. Maybe it's that I get to find out about some of their features. Maybe I get notified before something comes out so I can be the first one to make a video on it, similar like I discussed in the last vlog. So I'm going to basically present myself to this guy tomorrow, tell him who I am, tell him about my videos, etc., and just start that initial conversation and relationship with how we can work together. I'm not sure how, but I want to be working with 11 Labs because I love what they're doing and I love the quality of their products. And then the other arm of my kind of brand side is the affiliate links. I've talked about this before in another video. I think driving conversion and people through affiliate links to make money off subscriptions is really healthy. And what I've actually discovered is, so I put these affiliate links on my page about a month ago. You might have seen them. These ones, I've got 2 music ones, 2 asset ones, 1 of 10 and thumbnail test. And each of these links is driving around 300 clicks per month. And I was like, damn, that's not bad. But the problem is that I don't want to have too many there because it just looks messy. So what I'm planning on doing is just building a web page on my website that just has all of my recommended tools, so that I can have a library of probably 20, 30, 40 tools in different categories that I recommend, so that I can drive conversion through the affiliate links, and then also leverage that conversion and those numbers to then go to those brands to say, hey, look, I have your link on my website here. It's driving this amount of clicks per month, and this is the conversion. Maybe we could speak about doing an integrated video on YouTube where I have your affiliate link at the top of my description for that video, and we drive clicks that way. This is going to then help me get my foot in the door with each specific brand that I'm driving traffic to, and it will also allow me to build case studies and a pool of data to pitch to other brands that perhaps I don't have an affiliate link for, perhaps because they don't have an affiliate scheme, and so that way I can actually show my influence to other brands. This is a big thing I've been talking about as an influencer a few times, is how can you show your influence? How can you demonstrate to brands what your influence is? You can do that through data. You can do that both qualitative and quantitative. You could screenshot comments, you could screenshot questions people are asking you and you're answering them. So if you get a lot of comments, what microphone do you use? What camera do you use? Screenshot those comments, put them somewhere, and start building this database of both qualitative and quantitative library of anything and everything, so that when you go to a brand and maybe you're not that big, or you are big, and they go and they're not sure, you go, okay, by the way, here is a pitch deck that shows all of the places that I have influence and proves that I have influence. This is what I'm trying to think about going forward, just so that I can, go to brands that are a bit more trickier to get in terms of, a partnership, and say, hey, look, like, I've got influence here. I am converting people. Let's talk. And so, yeah, that's kind of the 2 arms of my brand strategy there, like the direct partnerships, the long-term relationships, and then the affiliate side. I was going to make a video this evening, but honestly, I'm just going to make it tomorrow. I don't need to make it at night, but I am going to talk about it. I'm doing one on some 5 Chrome extensions that I use as a creator. It's like a list. Lists are very good when you're a resource sharer, because it's like, why share one tool when you can share 5? And you might say, well, why don't you just do that all the time? Because it gets a little bit repetitive. And the way that I like to do list videos is that when I find a tool that's really valuable but not very sexy, it's not very wow, I don't want to make a video on its own because it's just not justified. What I do is I just add that to a long list of tools that I like, and then eventually I have lots of those, and then I group them together, and then I share all of them. The way that I like to also pick which 5, I try to think of ones that have a broad appeal, that lots of people would use, but also then try and chuck in some niche ones as well, some ones that people have not heard of. I then stack, I have to think about the order here, I stack the broader ones near the front, so I might go first one and second one, broad tool, wide appeal, third one, really, really niche, fourth one, broad, 5th one, really, really niche, because I don't want to just share broad tools all the time, because there are going to be people that are quite tech savvy that know the space. And if I'm always sharing lists of tools where these people, they always know the tools I'm sharing, it's not going to make them want to keep watching my list videos. So I always like to chuck in the really, really niche ones, not because they have a wide appeal, but because it then builds that trust and confidence amongst people watching my videos to say, oh, actually, every time I watch one of Ben's videos where he shares a list, there's always one in there that I don't know. So the next time I share a video, I'm hoping that they have that in the back of their head and they'll then watch my video. So that's kind of how I think about making lists and what order I put them in, what exactly I share in those lists. It's not just I bang the best tools. I really do think about how I share the lists and how I craft the videos. And I'm probably just going to flesh that out tonight, make the video tomorrow morning, post it in the afternoon, and that is the day done. Do you know what? I actually enjoyed making this vlog today. A little bit awkward filming out in public with my phone, holding it up. My Osmo, I'm going to get that tomorrow, as I said earlier on in the video, and I'm hoping to then just start doing, some weekly vlogs, some daily vlogs. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this one. I felt a lot more comfortable with the segments in terms of my planning and knowing how to maybe link to the last section where I didn't know that in the first one, and I think there's definitely been some progress here, and hopefully you notice it too. But before I blab on again, I hope you enjoy the video, hope there's lots of value in it, and I'll see you in the next one.